I can't move.
What are you doing?
Let go! I'm not holding on. Then
Why can't... What did you do? What did you really do?
I don't know.
What was holding you in place? Why couldn't you be moved? Why were you standing there?
I was trying to come on deck, then my legs stopped working. I felt heavy. I couldn't move. You couldn't move me either.
I did move you. Come on, Doulier's waiting. I'll be rid of you soon enough.
I'm not sure that I can walk on my own.
Then I'll move you.
Lysiaga.
Vaden, not right now. Belay your instinct to coddle the weak and helpless until I get her ashore.
If dealing with her causes you such frustration, Lysiaga, I would gladly escort her to Doulé myself.
You would do that for me? Hand her over and collect my gain?
Jollian men. She doesn't need your help. She is a Gaalian superpower and newly becoming after all.
The Onyx Chandler's waiting at the dock, Commander. Thank you.
Shut up, Lacey. Listen, human. I don't know what Doulier has prepared for you, and it's true he's more powerful than he should be. But he doesn't have proper authority, and he's not the only one interested in you, or the Kuthintal. It's not impossible to stand against him. Do you understand? Good.
And the woman ate the Kuthintal in tea. Good luck, Doulier.
Thank you, Lysiaga. Your well wishes mean a great deal.
Doulier,
Ernol.
what are you thinking? What are you going to do with her? You know that you can't...
Shh. Ernol. Wait a second. We haven't introduced ourselves.
But...
Welcome to Kaalia, miss. It is truly a pleasure. I am Doulier Laushust, or the Onyx Chandler, as you may have heard.
You are the Onyx Chandler.
Yes. Again, it's a pleasure. You and I have much to discuss.
Your hair.
Oh yes, it will make it easy for you here. I am easy to find in a crowd. The trip took a toll on you. Let's get you indoors. A little help, Ernol?
My brother would much prefer to assist you with this, Doulier.
No, wait, I'm not going anywhere with you.
Oh, well, I have no interest in forcing you. But I do believe I'm the only one that can really help you with our unfortunate predicament. You recall, you ate my prize?
I didn't do that on purpose.
I expect not. If you did, you would not be here. Not like this, would you?
How would I be?
Best not to dwell on that. With the ordeal you've been through, I am not lacking compassion. Plucked out of some small isolated village, the world spun out from beneath you. Manhandled and corralled by the likes of Lysiaga, and in this colorless isle of mine, you probably can't tell up from down.
I've eaten an ancient Kaalian poison that's weighing my body down, making the world spin, and your hair set aflame so blinding I can barely look at you.
Is that so? That sounds terrible, and what a poor first impression. Then let me remind you, dear human, I can help you.
For what? What would be the price? Why would you want to?
In complete honesty, miss, I paid a great deal to track down the Kuthental you ignorantly consumed. All that is left to do is study its effects on you.
And that is why you had Lacey drag me here, whether I liked it or not. What gives you the right to do that? You kidnapped me!
You could say that, but you could also say that I saved you. If the Kuthental has something unfavorable in store for you, here is the only place to be if you wish to survive it. Further, I am far from the only person who is interested in the Kuthental. Others may be less gentle. You're in quite a lot of danger, I'm afraid. I won't pretend to be altruistic, of course. I seek selfish gains. But consider that this transparency is much more than you'll get from anyone else who would, and they will, seek to use you. Alenka.
There she goes. Let's just add this to the long list of favors you owe me, Dulier.
Let's take her inside.
But right when...
Do you think so?
You're so...
Certainly not. Judgmental.
Well, he's in love.
That is...
Did she...
The ship was lost long before. He is an ambitious man. It's not going to end there.
Why? In all the time he's had control, why would he...
Did she move?
I didn't see anything.
Optimistic of me, I guess.
Concerned? She's not writhing in pain. Better than I was expecting.
Maybe she is in pain, and we can't tell. We're not going to learn anything from her if she never stays awake.
Then try to wake her.
No. Irele said to let her rest.
It's not as though Irele knows any more about what's going on than we do.
don't understand why he's keeping her here. She's not a pet, she's a person.
No one is using words like pet except for you and Heron. This is the safest place for her.
This is hardly a charity. He wants her here to keep control.
And what if that simultaneously means she's safest here?
You're just being argumentative.
Hardly. If you're feeling protective of the human because she's human, well then I suppose I understand, but even were she elven...
I know. But I still think she belongs in the castle, with the healers, somewhere safer.
Dulier has healers on hand, and no one is going to assault his estate.
Safer for you!
And how are you today? Still sleeping? Well, onwards through day 5. Alenka! Alenka, can you understand me?
I understand you.
Excellent. Do you feel as though you'll fall back asleep?
No, why?
That's what you've been doing. You wake up, then fall asleep a few moments later. You seem different now, so one hopes you'll stay awake this time. Quite the relief.
You're relieved?
I had contracted Laciaga to retrieve the Kuthental. I certainly did not expect that would come in the form of you. Now that it has, whether either of us likes it or not, we're both forced to adapt to the situation as best we can.
Then what are you proposing?
I'm proposing what I was in the beginning, that we work together and embrace the idea we can mutually benefit by your success.
I'm supposed to trust you?
Now that would be foolish. I've told you in no uncertain terms that I intend to use you. What I suggest is you embrace the idea of using me in return.
And how can you help me?
I can acquire information, I can protect you, and I have the means to promote you.
Promote me?
Your health or your power, it remains to be seen.
And you have information about what's happening to me?
Some, not as much as I'd have liked, but I would be happy to share what I know. I've had healers compiling theories since before you arrived. We have an idea what to be wary of, but it's not all for loss.
Healers? Have I been ill?
You're unique. You've been sleeping, but you haven't displayed any other signs of particular concern.
Then what are you looking out for?
It's all theory. Ideas formed from broken remnants of history, but it's rather exciting. For every threat you face, there is the possibility of remarkable power.
What kind of power?
The warriors who'd taken Kuthental were stronger than their peers. As vague as our records are, what most of the writings have in common is the idea that the Kuthental is a key to some greater threshold beyond oneself. Now, what could that mean? If they were stronger, faster, smarter, if they understood things or saw things that we normally don't. There are dozens of suggestions. I would be happy to go over them individually with you later.
What do you mean, see things that we normally don't?
That specific reference comes from an almost entirely destroyed manuscript. What I've already said of it is about all there is to say.
When was it destroyed?
Ages ago. It seems it was damaged shortly after it was made. Do you have an interest in Gaalian history?
If only for obvious reasons.
Of course, I would feel the same. Fortunately, researching my people's obscure and muddied past is a hobby of mine. For now, we'll have to wait and see what fantastic abilities you manifest. Perhaps it would be better to pace this out. Take a chance to reacquaint yourself with the waking world, and I will gather the information I've collected and present it to you this evening. You can have the run of the estate in the meantime.
I'm tired of being kept in the dark. I'm tired of elves making demands, of being herded and controlled.
No one could fault you for wanting to understand what's happening to you, but we need to be careful. The past few times you've been awake, you've lost consciousness, and rather than risk that again, we should take things slow.
I'm not going to faint again.
That is what I hope as well.
So then you can... You're not going to tell me anything no matter what I say, are you?
No, not right now.
Then I suppose I'll wait?
Thank you.
I suppose I should say thank you too.
Oh?
Have I not been ill? Found myself in a great deal of trouble?
Surely you've guessed I am not acting out of the kindness of my heart.
Nevertheless, I appreciate being alive.
As do most of us. Perhaps you'd like some air out in the garden. What passes for a garden in the mouth of the city, anyway? Oh, and Alenka, do you recall meeting an elf named Heron when you were aboard the Bastion? Heron, young, pleased with himself.
Yes, I met him.
Heron and Ernal will be over this evening. Heron's been relentlessly trying to get an audience with you. He's been at it for days now. They're bringing over their own records concerning the Kuthental. I suspect you'd be interested. 2 birds, 1 stone.
What information do they have?
I told you that records from the era of the Kuthental are rare and poorly preserved. Most Gaalian history is like that. Anything predating our arrival on this island, the island we call Gaalia, is scarce and ridiculously valuable. The bulk of our historical tracings are in privately owned collections.
That seems odd.
It is. Neither the Crown nor the forces have ever made any attempt to gather our ancestral trappings. No interest in preserving, protecting, or even studying. Lonry has a particularly keen interest in collecting artifacts from the ancient Gaalians. Hart knows what his interest in history is.
Lonray?
Heron and Ernal's father. But whatever the reason for Lonry's interest, it is to our fortune tonight. His sons, not without their access to Lonry's collections, have volunteered to aid us in our research.
I see. That's convenient.
Yes. If you need anything, there are servants about that can assist you. Somewhere.
Alenka?
Greetings. Have we met?
No, we haven't.
Well?
You're Alenka?
Yes.
I see.
What do you want?
I wanted to see the girl causing all the commotion. The girl who's incredibly unlucky. Maybe stupid.
I'm almost certain it's incredibly unlucky.
Oh. You're glib, and I was all ready to dislike you. It would make it easier to ignore what happens to you. And to top it all, you don't even know how undone you are. Right? You don't? Understand the depths of your unlucky draw?
I feel quite unlucky, but I have a feeling you know more.
There is no way this ends well for you, human. That is, how much do you know about Kaalia? Absolutely nothing? They'll never let you go back to being whatever you were before. One way or another, Ga'alia will have its way.
You didn't just come here to warn me.
No.
So?
As much trouble as you're in, you're not any good for the people around you either. I don't want you here.
Where should I go then? I can't go back home.
I don't know. Perhaps Vaden could hide you out in the woods until someone could smuggle you home. By the way, dinner is almost ready. Look in your dresser.
Alenka! Are you all right? Locked away in this ghastly man's tower? This is almost too ridiculous to believe.
Heron, you promised.
Ghastly.
Other than the Kuthintal, the strange island, and the elves, everything is just fine.
That's mildly comforting. It would be a simple matter to swarm the place with soldiers, Madrily. Just say the word.
She's not captive, Heron.
Indeed. Now, if you want her to be a captive, by all means, swarm the place with soldiers.
There are soldiers looking to capture me?
Not proactively, not at the moment. However, should you be conveniently delivered to the forces, I very much doubt they'd let you go.
Doesn't that make more sense than trying to figure out what to do with her all on your own, Dulier?
You underestimate me.
Shouldn't we be letting her decide?
There is nowhere else to go? I stay here or go with the soldiers?
There are other options.
There are not.
You could always try running away.
For now, we should discuss the Kuthintal as we came to do, yes?
It's time I understood what was going on.
Your constitution seems to have returned.
As though her lacking constitution were ever more than an excuse to keep her where you wanted.
Heron.
The brothers brought their father's collection of ancient Ga'alian texts. It's very fortunate. I've been after these texts for decades, but with you here now, there's no time to be timid. Please don't touch. Lonray is, well, fun as it might be to upset his collection. These are precious artifacts. And aggravating him any more than necessary is a hassle none of us needs right now.
Truly. My father isn't aware Heron and I
Stole the ancient Kuthintal texts. But what are they good for if not something like this?